fuckies, fucky dokes and chicky chicks and guys and girls. Bianca Haremse in the house. Good evening. Vian van Tonder in the house. Okay. Turn that music down. What's happening, folks? Welcome to yet another live stream. Live from Roodepoort, South Africa. Yeah, it's been a while. Took a bit of a break over the Christmas period, so nice to have you guys back. Right, so what have we got in today's video for you folks? We have some really cool stuff, definitely. So we're going to do some hands-on tutorials. I'll teach you guys on how to look for fake Funko Pops. And of course we'll go through how to set up an Aramex Global Shopper account. And then we'll talk about PPG and how pricing works on PPG and so on and so forth. So lekker Vian, I'm good man, I'm good. We have Vor RED, some random thingy from Russia, whatnot. Jordan Walker, evening and Happy New Year everyone, yes, and to you guys too. Hope this year will be spectacular. We definitely all need it, so yeah. Alright, so first and foremost, let's talk about Funko and how to spot fakes. It's a difficult one because if you're not exactly sure on the Funko that you're buying, what are you actually going to look for? So it's usually good practice to start off with fake Funkos by possibly even sending me a message, but also engaging on our groups locally via WhatsApp, via Facebook. It usually helps to try and sort of send in pics of places you're buying from. I normally do one request when people do ask me how to spot a fake Funko. Would you help me out? I say definitely. When you send me pictures, the most important thing is detailed quality photos. Most people send these cuck cell phone photos that have got blur, you can't see anything going on. If someone worth their metal is selling you a decent Funko Pop, they will make sure that they're going to send you decent quality pics. I also require photos from underneath the box. So if we look at Funko Pop, this is one of the most important places to look to find fake detailing, and we'll get to certain things there now as well. Right, but before we do, I just want to bring up some pics. So the first one that I'm going to bring up here is one of the most common ones. Now, when you guys buy Funkos, you'll notice in the window underneath the Pop logo, there's usually a genre. So it could be movies, television, a whole host of different things. The most important thing to realize there is when you look at a Funko Pop, the actual logo. So I'm going to show a transition here quickly. If you look at the real image on the right-hand side of your screen now, you'll notice that the Funko Pop logo has got these little blocky, dotty things inside the Pop logo. And usually the oranging in the word Pop starts quite dark orange at the top and fades down to a lighter yellow towards the bottom. It's one of the most important things to look for in the Pop logo without it having to be specifically genre based. So if you look at these two here, the most important thing, and I used movies because movies is actually one of the easiest ones to see where there are problems. So what you'll notice is on the left hand side where you've got the fake. If you look at the movies logo itself, you'll notice that the M, or the font for one, is already very different. So if you get used to seeing what the movies font looks like from Funko, you'll kind of gauge the idea. The movies and television and animation fonts do change from time to time from Funko, but they're very, very minimal changes. First thing you'll notice with the letter M is the letter M on the left hand side and the fake. If you notice, all three of the M elements at the bottom are touching the baseline. So if you look at the second one at the real deal, the movies, the middle piece of the M sort of sits halfway between the top and the bottom of the lettering. That's usually the most important and easiest way to spot, especially when you're looking at fake Funko Pops. So as you can see there, yeah, a pretty easy way to establish the difference between the movies Funkos. But obviously there's so many different categories, and the weird thing is every time there's a Funko Chinese fake that comes out, there's usually something very different, and it's normally picked up quite quickly by avid collectors and guys who pay a lot more attention as well. How's it, Calvin? Welcome aboard, Brav. So I just want to check how many people we got on board tonight. It doesn't look like so many millions. We've got about 16 concurrent viewers and so on. Okay, cool. So the next one I wanted to bring up as well is another way to spot on the older generation Funkos. I've had to superimpose the logo on this just to show you what I mean. But if we have a look at the real deal on the right hand side, that's an old grail. So an OG Funko Batman, Joker, bank robber. These are not my pops. I took these ones off the internet. Mine are in much better condition than that. But when you start looking at the Pop logo and the Heroes logo on these two, there's really actually no difference between the two. They're pretty much identical, but one big giveaway on top of the box is the fakes. They put the Funko logo on top of the box, which should not be there on the old Grails. So just another sign to look out for. If it is an older Pop, sort of from about 2016 and back, or even 2017 backwards, you will never have a Funko logo on top of the box. So also be very wary of that one. That definitely does pop up often on older Grails. So yeah, pretty much an easy one to spot on that. That's one of the more dead giveaways. What I did want to also mention with the Funko, one thing you need to familiarize yourself, when you look at the bottom of a box, you'll notice on the newer generation Funkos, there's the Facebook and the Twitter logos. I couldn't find a decent resolution fake online to put up on the live stream here. But one thing you must do is get familiar with how these logos look on your original Pops. So if you are online buying a Funko or buying it from someone, make sure you've got access to the bottom of the images. First thing to look for, besides serial numbers and stickers and all that other stuff, the first two things I always look for is, number one, I look for the barcode. Barcode is the same, then that is not confirmation. I will move then on to the Twitter and the Facebook logos. You'll notice the fakes, the Facebook and Twitter logos are not legit. And the reason they're not is that because Facebook and Twitter are big. So if they're using incorrect or their logos, the real thing, massive lawsuits follow. So the Chinese copies really do a lot of work in making sure that their replicas are as close to but not exact. So there's no lawsuits and things like that, or potential lawsuits. So that's always a good thing to look out for. Hello guys, good to be here finally. Sorry for being late. No worries, Zander, welcome aboard. Prashil, my boy, welcome aboard. So yeah, if you haven't, if you've missed out in the beginning, we were just touching up on a few fakes that you can spot in the wild or when buying online. So remember, this video will be uploaded, so you can always go back and refer back for anything else. If I do ever come across a fake Funko cheap enough with the Twitter and Facebook logos being a bit dodgy, I'll actually probably buy it. And then I can do just an update on this video and we can go through the ropes and look at the detailed differences between the two. Next one I wanted to get through was one of the most popular and one of the most expensive grails that goes around right now. And that's the Planet Olia Vegeta, or Vegeta, wherever you want to come from and pronounce it. The Dragon Ball Z number 10 Funko Pop here is one of the most replicated Funkos. Now when you look on eBay, you'll see they go up to $10,000 and blah blah blah, and they can be from $200. So a lot of people will just assume $200, good deal, buy it. This is one of the easiest Funko Pops in the world to gauge the difference. You don't even have to have the original with you. So the first thing to look for in this particular one is, if you look at the fake on the left hand side, you'll see the number 10 within the circle is very off center and completely not right. And then that's a simple way to find a fake Funko. It's not saying that Funko will never make mistakes like that. It's just very rare, and on this particular Pop, no. The next big difference to look for between these two is, if you look at the actual hair color, the real deal is quite a darker sort of maroonish brown, whereas the fakes come with a very, and I'm talking about the actual Pop itself now, come with a very sort of lighter brownish sort of tinge, more brown than red. And then the biggest difference between the two, without going into detail inside the Funko Pop itself, if you look above his hairline in the actual graphic image, you'll notice that the white stroke lines on the real are very sort of uniform. But if you look at the fake Planet Olia, you'll see on the top of his head that that sort of white stroke line goes all sorts of pear-shaped. If you look towards the bottom of it, the stroke line as well, you'll see the little circle that's by his sort of shoulder pad. It gets cut off on the fake. If you look at the original where the shoulder pad is, you see the full circle of the design next to it on the right hand side, between the P and his shoulder pad. So there's some very easy giveaways there when it comes to spotting fakes. So yeah, just take into consideration that those sort of do come into play. So I hope this is kind of giving you an idea of what to look for. It's always easy to compare an existing Funko with a replica or fake or counterfeit, whatever you want to call it. So it's very difficult to just sort of go onto eBay and find a pick and go, ooh, that's a fake, or ooh, that's original. More often than not, you would need another sample to do comparisons. And if that is the case and it's a Funko Pop I possibly own, by all means, folks, send me pics. I'll be able to compare. But for the most part, I know what most of the fakes are that are out there, and I know kind of what to look for So don't ever be shy to just hit me up if you want to buy a Funko and just ask me for confirmation. I'm not always 100% accurate because some of the fakes are so good these days that there's such minor detail to look at. But more often than not, there is a way to spot it. So those are pretty much the most common ways to spot a fake Funko. Barcode, like I said earlier, is one of the most important things to look at, because more often than not, they will not use the original barcode. So that's another key thing to look at. Then finally, I just wanted to show you on the baseline here of the fake Billy. Now, this is a picture I have pulled off the internet, and it's actually got the dots there already. I should have done that with mine, but I didn't have time. Right, so first of all, if we look at the fake Funko Pop on the left hand side, you'll notice the barcoding is very thick. It's like a very thick, bold typeset, which is not like Funko's barcodes. Barcodes are very readable from Funko. You'll notice the Funko logo itself, it's a very heavy, thick set Funko logo too. In fact, there we go. This one actually has the Twitter logo and the Facebook logo. Now, this is a very important thing to look at, because when you look at these two logos side by side, you can see the biggest comparison difference. You'll notice the fake Twitter, the bird itself sits a lot smaller inside the blue box, whereas with the original it's almost fills the box entirely. And remember, Twitter's logo is a light blue, not a dark blue, so that's also another dead giveaway. Another one here that's easy to spot on this particular Funko Pop is the fact that the fake is missing the FM, or the Funko manufacturing date, or at least what people call a serial number, which it's not. It is actually a date stamp. So that was made in the 2014 March. The second or the last digits don't really count for much. They don't really mean anything, not in our world at least, but it's probably a production run number for Funko themselves. But yes, the 1403, that is the year and the month that it was made or manufactured. So normally that type of sticker is not a dead giveaway, because that's easy to replicate. And of course, those serial numbers, or at least date mark numbers, are easily changed by Funko. So if Funko does a production run this month and they do another production run of the same Funko 3 months later, those numbers will change. So it's not a serial number linked to that specific pop. It is just a date zone. So yeah, bear that in mind when you guys do definitely look at buying Funkos online. Look, for the most part, a couple of tips when it comes to buying Funko. Now, first and foremost, if it is an online transaction and it's not through local suppliers or people you know. So if you're buying from Macquarie's, eBay's, Amazon's, places like that, the first thing is buy from reputable dealers. Now, I'm not saying reputable sites like Amazon and eBay, because there are people who sell on those sites, and there are dodgy people out there too. So when you're on eBay, for example, the first thing I normally look at is, one particular thing is, how many Funkos has this person sold? I don't tend to buy from guys who've got a lot of sales history, but Funko's very small. I actually caught a guy out on Facebook, on eBay the other day, selling a Freddy's Pennywise, and selling it as a legitimate Funko for over $300. And I actually private messaged him and I said to him, hey brother, you better take that down, it's counterfeit and fake. He came back to me swearing at me, telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. So I actually sent him a link to my YouTube channel to go and have a look. And he came back and he's like, holy crap, I bought this Funko from a reputable store in America. So I said to him straight, I said, you need to get that Funko off the listing and get that back to where you bought it from. And of course that's his problem now. But a lot of people out there do not have the experience in selling Funko, or at least know what they're selling. So guys, be careful there. So what I normally do is I look at a minimum of 1,000 sales. So I don't buy from eBay sellers that have less than that, even if their track record is 100%. I just find that you've got to build trust with people, and you know they've got to build their trust on those platforms. And of course that we're in South Africa, so it's not as easy to just send something back and get refunded. It's much harder for us. So what I do is minimum of 1,000 sales, and he has to have predominantly most of those sales, or she, as Funko Pops. And the reason that is because they would have sold so many over the course of months and years that if they did sell fakes or anything, they should by then know what to look out for when they do sell Funko. Another big tip and trick to look for when buying eBay stuff, when there's a description and also the detailed description underneath, always read that very carefully, because I've seen scalums on eBay. What they'll do is they'll list the Funko Pop as Mr. McMahon, WWE Funko Pop. And then you think, cool, that thing looks good, it's $10, what a deal. Then you go in and you buy it and it's all lacquer. read the full item descriptions, because in there is usually where they say, I'm not sure if it's original, or this is a replica or a counterfeit Funko Pop, or somewhere along the lines where they kind of get themselves that little loophole where they say, I'm not too familiar with Funko Pop, that might not be original. So always look for that kind of wording, and if you see it, bolt, run for the hills. So that's always something to consider when buying. If you're on eBay as an example, always look at who the seller is. If the seller is from China, run. 99.8% of the Funko Pops sold that are sent from China, or at least on eBay China sales, are 100% fake. There is no two ways. If it says it's from China, run. I've even seen some of them selling Imperial Funko Pops from China, which is where they come from. Even then, I will not take a chance. Just turn away, find another one from somebody who sells through Canada, Australia, England, whatever the case is. The minute it says China, out of here. So Giovanni's also mentioned, and the hair on the fake is more red, 100%. So it is more red than it is brown. How's it? Nicola in the house, and Momo, Mohammed in the house. How you doing, boot? So yeah, I hope that's given you guys a bit more insight in what you should look for when you're buying Funkos online. I get a lot of guys who message me saying, oh, I'm so scared of buying on eBay. I've been buying on eBay since about 2000 or 2002, 2001. I think I bought my first stuff on eBay. I have had 4 incidents in that period, and you guys know how many things I bring in from overseas. I've only had 4 serious incidents on eBay. One was the Freddy fake Pennywise, which was my fault. I didn't check the listing properly, and it was a fake. It wasn't sold as a fake, but the listing picture was fake. Sent that back, got my money back, blah blah blah. Second time round, it was a legitimate Funko picture, but he sent a fake. And then I've been burnt way back on 2 things that I bought, which went missing in the post and blah blah blah. But for the most part, eBay does have buyer protection. So if you do buy stuff on eBay, it's fine. You've got protection if something goes wrong. And eBay normally does favor the seller. But with that being said, also don't be one of those favors the buyer, not the seller. But it also means that if you're a buyer, don't try and screw people over. Make it as honest as you can and be legit about it. And you'll find that throughout the years, the karma thing will look after you. Simple as that. Another thing is, if the price is too good to be true, it is exactly that. It's too good to be true. Mark Levat in the house, my boy. How's it? Welcome aboard. So yes, when you see a Funko deal, it's usually too good to be true. Run as well. It's never ever worth taking the risk, because you might score a deal. Yes, it can happen that somebody is selling a Funko Pop, they don't know what they have. But I don't know, they could be clearing stuff out the house and it's cheap. Sometimes you will score a deal, but that is so rare and so small. People who have Funko Pops, the general rule of thumb is they know what they've got. Most people I know nowadays who have one of these, they know what they're in possession of, and they kind of do have an idea of what they're worth too. So just always be careful of that. Now, another very important thing to remember as well when buying Funko Pops, a lot of the times you'll see it's not easy because a listing will show you a Funko Pop dead on like this. The stickers that Funko use are always see-through stickers, irrespective of whether it's a Chase, a Comic-Con, a shared edition sticker, they are see-through. So if you ever have the luxury of being able to look through the side of your pop, look through the sticker. So if you hold it up to a light, if the light shines through and you have a kind of transparent view of the sticker itself, I don't know if this will be able to show you. Yes, it can. You'll see there. I don't know if it's in focus. But the Chase sticker itself, if I've got a light on my side, you will notice that it would be see-through. Another very important thing to look for when buying Funkos. So that's usually a big indication of whether it's a fake or not. So sometimes what I do is, if it's a really high-end pop and I'm not sure, I'll just ask the seller to send me a photo of him holding it up in the light so I can see the back of the sticker. And if they send you that pic and it's see-through, they know what they're doing as well. You should be good to go. So you guys all enjoying the tips and tricks so far? Nell Flair's in the house. How's it, Nell Flair? Mike Liston. Mike with his cool photos. Mike is in the house. Right, now we're going to walk on to a more hands-on thing. So for the guys out there, I always get asked, how do I use Aramex Global Shopper? Very straightforward. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to flip us over to, if it works. Okay, so Safari, Google, Safari OBS, Safari, Google. Let's see if this works. Okay, it's not working. Just bear with me, folks. I've never done a... Okay, it should work now. Let's try this. it helps if I put the eyeball on. Okay, so what you're going to see over here, I'm just going to quickly do, let's just do a transform and do a full screen. Is that filling up your screen? No, it's not. Okay, well I know why, because I'm not in full screen. But anyway, without any further ado, so what I've done is I've logged out of my Aramex Global Shopper account. So you're just going to hear me talking crap now in the background. So aramexglobalshopper.com. Get yourself onto this website. It is very buggy now and then. So Aramex Global Shopper always has this sort of message or bot thing that pops up, which is pretty crappy, like that. And you cannot get rid of it. You can click X all you like. It doesn't go away. So I normally just do a refresh. And there we are. Okay, so I'm logged in currently, so I'm just going to quickly log out here. Oh, this is such a cuck website, and there's nothing I can do about it to fix it, folks. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to log out quick. So when you go to aramex.com or aramexglobalshopper.com, the first thing you'll come up with is this big landing page. First thing you're going to do, I don't know how to get rid of this, it just won't go. I've tried it on Chrome as well, and see, it doesn't matter what I do to click it. So if there's any IT boffins out there, gevaarte in the house. Yes, you can see the screen. Donkey Chris. Right, so basically this comes up. I'm clicking all the way down here. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor. That's not good. Let me see if there's a way I can get the cursor to show. Properties. Show window shadow. Show this, so that. Oh, there we go. Window shadow's gone. Yeah, it doesn't actually let me do the cursor thing. I'll probably have to go into the actual back end. But let's not fool around with that. I'll probably be here all day trying to find it. Screenshot source, set color, remove, transform your order, blah blah blah. Okay, no. Show transition none. Okay, let's not bother with that. Let's go back. Alright, so there is no cursor, so you're going to have to, I'll talk where I type. Okay, so first thing you do when you get to globalshopper.com is you're going to go to sign up. So on the right hand side of the board there, you'll see there's a sign up option. So you're going to click on that. How do I get rid of this chat? It's really, really bugging me now. And I can't even block pop-ups. I'm sorry guys, this is not me. This is this stupid website of theirs. Yes, I've got it. Cookies, yes. Go away. Okay, login, sign up. Right, so we're going to go to the landing page. You're going to select the country that you're getting stuff to delivered to. So this is where you would select South Africa, and you're going to choose between two options. Now you've got Aramex Basic and you've got Aramex Flex. So if you look at the difference between the two, there's a massive price difference. If you're going to be someone who brings the odd Funko Pop in here and there, go for the AGS Basic. It's only 150 bucks, and that's for a lifetime of access. So that necessarily means when you go AGS Basic, you still have up to $100 insurance on your packages. If you select that option, it doesn't cost you anything extra. You get customs clearance, you get delivery to your doorstep, and world-class customer service, which is cuck. That's not the case. But you never get charged volumetric. You get charged actual weight of the product. So AGS is great for someone who's not going to bring a lot of Funkos in. If you're going to bring a lot of stuff in, so if you guys like me and you bring in a lot of Funko Pops, AGS Flex Annual is the way to go. So what that does is that's 1,500 bucks for a year, but you have a 100 gram weight break. So that necessarily means you're only paying per 100 grams. So if, for example, a parcel weight of a kilo is the minimum, so to speak, and that's going to cost you 400 bucks, then if you've got a 100 gram parcel, you're only paying for that 100 grams, not the full 1 kilo. So you get free AGS Protect, you get customs clearance service, you get delivered to your doorstep, and then you get obviously actual weight, and that's what you get paid. When they talk about return service, if you ever buy something from eBay and it needs to be returned, and you've paid 300 bucks for the pop, rather just close the deal. To ship something back to America costs the earth. I haven't actually checked the return service special rate from Aramex, but it can't be too bad. Anyway, so long story short, you're going to fill in your name. So let's go with Mr. McMahon. So we're going to call him Vince. Okay, so Vince McMahon, which is MCMAHON. Then you have your mobile number, which will be 0123456789. Your email address, which could be anything from, let's go, Mr. MacM at mweb.co.za. Blah blah blah. Make a password. Agree to Aramex. So we're going to make a password. Let's just go with theirs. Use their strong password. That's fine. Then you're going to agree, and you're going to agree to receiving promotional emails from Aramex. If you do select the AGS normal 150 buck lifetime one, I would suggest click on the agree to receiving promotional emails, because if they ever do deals on Aramex Flex, then at least you'll get that email. Sometimes they do really good discounts on it, so it's worth looking at. Yes, I'm not a robot, and then you're going to click next. Okay, so I hope this all makes sense so far. Invalid password. Use strong password. Okay, that's not... oh, it's one of those sort of ASCII type. Okay, but let's say, for example, it's done. Don't use... I'm just going to go... let's just make a random one. Oh, passwords don't match. Bear with me, folks. They do match now. Okay, so when you click on the next button, you're going to get... not a robot. Yes. Click. Confirm I'm a robot. So I click that. Oh my word, here come the bridges and stuff. That's a bridge, that's a bridge, that's a bridge. Very far. Hi. Don't you love capture? Anyway, it still says I must not be a robot. Okay, there will be... Okay, I'm just going to go. So you go through those processes as you open the account. It takes you to the next page, which is to fill in your details on how you're going to pay. Essentially, then that would be card, whatever it is. Cool. So once you're there, I'm not saving that password because that's not me. Once you're at this side of things, once you've logged into your AGS account, I'm just going to give you a brief understanding of what this is all about. Just gives you a basic breakdown of what's happening here. So if you scroll through the My Addresses page, this is from the places you'll be purchasing from. So if you're buying from any of these places in the world, this is the Aramex account you will use to get your parcel shipped to. So if you decide you've got a friend in India who's sending you all your Funkos, yes, that's my Johannesburg code. Please don't use that anyone else, otherwise I'll get your Funko. This is your unique code. So the one that I've highlighted here is the unique code that they assign to you. Yeah, Chris, I've just seen your comment now. If I click on the X bottom right hand side, it does nothing. Okay, so Mike, you got the app and you've never really used it. Now, remember, it is an exceptionally good tool to have because this lets you basically ship stuff from all over the world. So we're going to buy something from Mumbai, India. Let's say we're buying a bicycle. We've paid for it already online. Now we need to get them to ship it to us. When you have your account with wherever you're buying from, this is the address that you will use, okay, on your checkout, because this is where the parcel is going to. And remember, folks, your unique code, your JNB or your CPT, if you're in Cape Town, that code is what Aramex then allocates the parcel to you. So if you look at your Aramex account, I'm not going to go into one and show you, but under your account on the top right hand side, that is where you will put your physical address here in South Africa. So when Aramex receives the parcel from somewhere in Mumbai, they get the parcel. The first thing they do is they punch in your tracking number, your specific or your unique code, and this code brings up on their system where the parcel must go from there to where. So then that tells you it's your physical address here in South Africa. Simple as that. Okay, when you're done and you've bought a few things online and they're busy shipping over, you have a thing called My Packages. So I'm just going to go to an old history one. You can see I've been on Aramex quite a long time. So let's go to an old one from Australia, US, just as an example. Now here is where you have all the information at your fingertips. So the cost of the goods, of what they think it costs, etc., etc. Your supplier tracking number, which is the UPS tracking number from this particular parcel. And then of course, when it was delivered, who is receiving it, what it cost you to ship it in from Aramex. Those are the fees that they take off your account if you use the debit function. And then all your tracking information below. So this is still quite an old one, because in the old days, this tracking detail was very basic. Now they give you more updates and so on and so forth. And down here is where you'll have, so all of these here is where you have all the information, and that's the image that they upload. So when you buy a pop, they actually scan the image in and they send you an image of it so you can check the parcel's okay. And then of course all that information is where you upload your invoices, etc., etc. So I'm not going to go into detail on all how that works. This is basically how you get going with Aramex Global Shopper. One thing I will mention, and it's the most important thing, folks, when you have a parcel that gets shipped from somewhere, always make sure they put your specific code in there. If they don't put it in, the parcel will get to Aramex and they will have a random bay where they can't allocate parcels to, and they go sit there and nobody knows who they belong to. So if you've got a parcel you're expecting and you find it's tracking as being sent to Aramex, but it's not loaded on your account, don't panic. You have a place on the right at the top here called track package or claim package. So I'm highlighting it for you guys to see the claim package function. When you click on that, okay, this is where you get to look for your parcel. So what would happen is you would say, right, I bought it from America. So you would scroll down to New York, because that's where the dispatch bay is in America. Did I go past it already? Oh no, it is United States. Okay. So you're going to highlight United States. Then you say, I have a supply tracking number. This is where you will type in your UPS code, which is so many digits long, right? And the UPS code, when you click search, this probably won't work because I'll just put a random number. And if it picks up an parcel, I'll be pretty impressed. In fact, we could actually, you know what, before I do that, let's go to my packages. And I'll go to an old parcel. And I'll take the tracking number from that one. Okay, we'll just go back to tracking. Claim package. Okay, so USA. And then here we're going to punch in that one and search. So this will more than likely say that I've already got my package in my account, because it's already got to me. Chris, I'm clicking the exit, won't go. Right, so shipping with AGS tracking number blah blah has been found. Please check my packages tab in your profile tracking. Now, if this was a parcel they couldn't find yet, it would then bring up an option to claim my package. When you click on claim my package, it'll bring up a new landing page. And that, so let's just go here. Okay, so when you click on the claim my package scenario, that's where it'll bring up the option for you to then say, right, it's my parcel. They will ask you to give an upload of an invoice or proof of purchase so they can allocate it to you. And then you just go through those steps, send, and then they will then allocate the parcel to you and ship it over. So don't ever get worried if someone forgets to put your code in. It's just a ball ache to go through that process, because usually in my case, I only realized 2-3 weeks later, oh crap, where's that pop? And then I go in and say, oh, flip. And that's usually more often than not with private sellers, because when you're buying online, you put your password and your shipping address is in yourself, so you'll be fine. Right, so Mike Liston, you've got the app, but you've never used it yet. For 150, it's not bad. Look, it's not bad. Considering that if you go onto eBay and you buy a pop for $200, they normally send it, if that person will ship to South Africa, your shipping fees on those are normally around 700-800 Rand. But if you go through AGS, it's a lot cheaper to bring Funkos in that way, definitely. Thanks, Marty. My parcel's always delayed because of that. I could not figure out where to find the unique account number. Okay, so yes, guys, just remember that unique account number of yours is how Aramex allocates that parcel to you. It's always, always, always important, and remember that's how they get them to you. Right, now I just also wanted to basically, I wanted to also talk to you guys about, okay, transition, this website. Okay, I don't want to get too boring here, but a lot of you guys are familiar with the term HobbyDB. A lot of you guys are familiar with the pop price guide and Facebook app and all those cool things. But I need to just emphasize something here. Now, I did put it on the one WhatsApp group last week where I did explain to people how prop price guides work. So I just wanted to elaborate again because there were some requests on Facebook, on WhatsApp to go through it with you guys. So HobbyDB was started by a couple of guys who said, how do we keep track of things we collect? And we're not talking just Funko, we're talking about any collectibles, comics, statues, you name it. The list goes through the roof. I mean, die-cast toys, etc., etc. So these guys started a website called HobbyDB, and HobbyDB has hundreds of thousands of users, and it's just, what HobbyDB actually started as was a place for you to show off, or at least to keep an itinerary of your Funkos themselves. Okay, let me just go back here. So what HobbyDB was designed to do is for people that put their Funko Pops in or put their collectibles in and have a way to... Alright, I've got a question here. Quick question, is it safe to use your main bank account for AGS and whatnot and eBay and so on, or would you suggest open a bank account for online purchases and stuff? Always a very good question, Vian. I've used my same FNB check account since when FNB went digital banking. I changed over. I've been with FNB almost 20 years. I can tell you one thing, I've never had a fraud case on mine. So I use my FNB for all my Aramex debits. I use FNB for all my eBay purchases. And then the stuff that's a bit more tricky, like private sellers, I have a PayPal account linked to my FNB. So if you want to do that, actually just open an FNB account, a separate one, and link that to a PayPal account. Then you can control just your online spending that way. But one thing, like Harvey, the Geek Merchant, and myself established, you actually do have a no swipe limit. So if you're buying product with your account and it's not actually physically swiping your card, so online purchases and stuff, you actually have an annual spend limit. So if you ever get to that cap, which is, in my case, was about $1.5 million, then you have to contact the bank and increase that limit, and then it rolls over every year. Second bank account for online stuff, I mean, not a bad idea. Look, you have bank protection if something goes wrong on your account. So if something does happen where you get debited from someone incorrectly, you will get protection on that. But yeah, if you just want extra peace of mind, open a separate account, go for it. Alright, so moving back to HobbyDB. So it was essentially just a way for people to keep tabs on their evergreen collections. So HobbyDB became so big they decided that they could start doing things like values, etc, etc. What did you pay for it, get an average price, and people could keep tabs on the stuff and what it's cost them. So under HobbyDB, I mean, obviously this little setup will be different from mine to yours because I am a curator on HobbyDB. So HobbyDB curation, it just means I've got things where I have more control in the database. So I'm one of the back-end guys where I can add database items, I can manage them, I can manage subjects, I can also assign listings to people to sort out. But for the most part, let's just go to my dashboard and let's just find a random Funko Pop. Okay, I should have set this to lowest to highest because now you can all see what I've got. I didn't think that went through. Right, so when you click on a Funko Pop in your collection, it'll bring up every single amount of detail you possibly need. Now, all of the information you see here is pretty much the basic info for the Funko itself. So if you look at the brand, it's Funko, it's under Heroes, it's vinyl, the date it was released, and the exclusivity range, its reference number, which is the number of the box, and the barcode underneath. Now, if you want to go into more detail, you can actually click View Database Item. Now it'll bring you up with a whole lot more detail, and this is the part I wanted to show you guys. If you scroll down, there's a graph over here that gives you an indication, okay, I don't highlight the whole bloody thing, of its current estimated value. Now, estimated value, folks, that is the average price that this Funko Pop will sell for. And that is since early, or what looks like mid to end 2019, right through to 2022. So a lot of people don't realize that this number here is not what the Pop sells for. It can be because the prices can dip. So if you look at the graph over here, this Pop actually got to a high point of $750 at one stage. If you scroll down here, its highest selling price was a year ago at $750. But as we know, with all things in life, there is supply and demand. So the less demand and the more supply, the cheaper things get, and so on and so on. So this Pop was originally $750 at one stage, but over the years it's kind of lost. It's one of those, no one wants it, cool, so it drops in value. But bear in mind, when you sell this Funko, don't sell it for $370, because chances are, I mean, if you bought it for $750, a year later you're not going to flog it for that unless you're willing to get rid of it. But always bear in mind, folks, that this is purely just an average price. Okay, I'm going to show you another one here quickly that I recently purchased. So this one is on its way. So you'll notice that this particular Pop is a signed Marty McFly, so signed by Michael J. Fox himself. Now you'll see that there's 10 years plus. I've asked one of the guys to sort that pricing out because that 10 years plus is incorrect. It pulled the wrong data from eBay for some reason. And the Funko itself has an average list price of $510. I'm now currently seeing some of the guys selling this particular Funko Pop for close on $800, and they will probably sell for that. So remember, there's Pops that come out at $400 or $500, and they'll just keep increasing. So a lot of things like that to bear in mind. So when it comes to HobbyDB, use the thing as a database for all your Funkos. It's really, really cool for that. Yeah, so I hope that kind of gives you an indication on how HobbyDB works. It really is just a pricing guide and allows you to see how Funkos have trended. Let's just actually go here. We'll go value low to high. So let's go find something quite cheap, right? Let's look at a Super Saiyan cauliflower. Right, Super Saiyan cauliflower, if we click on the view database item, here you'll see that you've got different variants, and it's an $8 Funko. At one part, it actually made it at $14. But remember guys, this Funko came out, thousands and thousands of them. It's not a special or spectacular pop, but because of the fact that there's so many in the world, it's never really going to jump in price. In fact, it gets to a point where it starts just becoming worthless because there's so many and people can't sell them. So I hope that kind of gave us an idea on how that stuff works. So I hope that gives you a little bit more insight as to what that's all about with HobbyDB. I wanted to touch up on one more thing, which is basically, there was a question asked on the group. Okay, virtual, yeah, FNB have a virtual card for that kind of thing, very secure, 100%, that is correct. So Clint has said that you do have a virtual card for that, which is correct, and you separate that from your other accounts or link it to. So yes, one thing that was asked on the, I think the Geek Merchant group the other day was, how do you value Funko Pops and stickers? So let's take a Comic Con edition and an SE edition, or let's go Comic Con and shared. The general rule of thumb is that a Comic Con sticker will always be worth more than a shared convention exclusive. Why that's the case? In normal circumstances with no COVID around, a con sticker is a Funko Pop you buy from Comic Con. You have to physically be at the event to win or buy the Funko. That's why people value that Funko Pop much higher than a shared convention sticker, because a shared convention sticker is essentially an SE sticker where Funko says to everyone else that's not at the con, you can have the pop and sell it, but the Comic Con sticker itself has to be sold at the actual con event. Now obviously COVID changed a lot of things because they had virtual cons, so when you bought something online you were either lucky that you got the virtual con or the shared sticker. But if you look at the prices, you go back to 2016 Comic Con, a con sticker versus a shared sticker, there's massive differences in price. But with the virtual con versus the Funko convention sticker, there's no big price jumps between the two. Why? Because there wasn't any special value to the virtual Funko sticker, because you wouldn't have to go to the event. The only one is the Stargirl that does increase, because it was a Funko online store only available there. First 1,000 or 2,000 purchases or 5,000, whatever it was, they got the virtual Funko sticker on her, and there is not a con shared variant. So with that being said, when we talk about general Funko Pops that get released, Hot Topic exclusive, Black Widow, boom, Hot Topic sticker. Then South Africa bring them in and we get the SE sticker. Folks, they're identical Funko Pops. There's no difference. They're 100% the same, unless it is an exclusive limited. So they might have the glow version and the rest of the world gets the common. That's a big difference, yes. But the Funko Pops are the same. So a lot of people say to me, yeah, but surely the Hot Topic sticker is worth more. In theory, you would think so. But remember, the majority of the market on Funko is driven by American demand. So the Americans don't want to go into Hot Topic. To them, Hot Topic is just a household brand, who cares? So sometimes an SE sticker is actually worth more for them because they bought it in from Australia. So they buy it from Australia, it comes into America, the PPG price goes up because of the shipping costs, etc. So those are another reason why SE stickers can sometimes be worth more. Personally, I do not like the SE sticker. I just don't like the actual sticker. If Funko made a nicer looking sticker, cool. So for me, I would prefer to have a Hot Topic or a Target or a Books A Million or a Big Apple sticker over the shared sticker, or at least the SE sticker, because I just don't like it. It's a terribly ugly, silver trashy participation award sticker. That's all it is for me. In fact, I've got some SE stickers, I've just taken them off the box because they just look cuck. But yes, it can happen often. I've seen it in times, especially being a curator on HobbyDB, where you've got three variants of a pop. So you've got Vince McMahon, and you've got Hot Topic sticker, then you've got Vince McMahon SE sticker, and then you've got Vince McMahon older days pop culture sticker. Alright, so there you had three variants on HobbyDB, and they all had three different price points. But it depends on how many came out and how many people bringing them in from other territories. That would increase the value or decrease the value. So stickers are not necessarily the most important thing in the world. Yes, they do matter when it comes to con stickers. They do matter when it comes to one specific exclusive only, like Toy Tokyo and Emerald City cons and stuff like that, they are much more special because that pop is a lot more rare. So yes, participation certificate sticker. Oh, Chris, I'm with you. Cuck. I just don't like them. I really don't. And with that being said, I mean, on my Ghost Rider Blacklight, for example, I've got the original Pop Culture, but the green metallic sticker. That thing there, I would rather have on all my pops than Funko's Silly Crown sticker. It's just so much nicer. So there's times where I've got Funkos going, that's such a much nicer looking sticker than the Funko exclusive. So Funko need to get their act together and make really cool stickers. It's as simple as that. But when it comes to value, the only time you'll see really big differences in value is if it's a con versus a shared, or a con versus just a rerun of commons. Con stickers do go up in value. It's as simple as that. There's no getting away from it. So that's definitely one of those things. So I think I've kind of covered that. We do have a really awesome reveal. That guy that's just vomited on the comments has got something really epic coming. We've got certain amount of quantities coming. Well, not we, I mean he. But he's asked me quite nicely to just do a little bit of a reveal for you guys. So I'm going to put the laptop lightly to the side. And alright, so I actually have this pop out for one particular reason. I got this one from, we won't mention a seller's name, but I did get this from a reseller a while back. The quality of these are very good. It's a nice, thick, solid protector. It's done its job. The cool thing, this was a special edition with the WWE ropes. So some of these like limited runs are quite cool. But I've noticed what happens is I eventually get to a point where I'm looking on my shelf and I go, I don't get to actually see the Funko. So there are pros and cons to it, because it's nice in the box, it references that it's WWE, but I always like to see my pops in their natural state. So this is like a dog that's just been born and grown and become a beautiful Labrador, as opposed to that where it's had its tail docked and its ears clipped. That's kind of how I compare it. But for nonetheless, good quality protector as far as the plastic goes, and it's done its job for the years. But what I've noticed with this particular one, if you have a look up close, they've got very small little dobbies of glue. You can actually see I've put hot glue on myself now, which has come off. So let me peel that off. And this is the problem with these. The glue that they use, I don't know if you can see it, right, there doesn't stick. So when you buy these protectors, these collapsible ones, you buy them like this. When you pop it, this whole freaking thing just broke off. So then I had to re-glue it, otherwise they sit on the shelf and they wobble. So I had to kind of re-glue it, and the hot glue hasn't even held. So my job was no better than the quality control of these. And I have noticed that that's quite a big problem with a lot of these protectors I've got from this particular supplier over the period of time that I did. It's fine because it works as a protector, so I wasn't really ever bothered by that. That's a small minor thing. However, we've got something really epic coming soon. So Chris from this company, let's just go here and we'll transition, boom. So you guys can see this website over here, popstacked.co.za. Go to the site, folks, put in pre-orders, do what you like, have a look around. He's got an online store with all the stack goodies. His pictures will get better, I promise. It is just starting off. And very soon, coming to a store near you are these. Right, so what is this? It's just a normal protector, right? Yes, it's the same. In fact, it's a lot. It actually is thicker. So I think this is now it's about the same now. So this is also a 0.5 mil. So it's just as good thickness as these. So it's a nice solid protector. But what a lot of guys don't realize with this particular brand that's available in SA, when you run your finger on the outside here, where you've got the join, this flap is on the outside. This small flap is supposed to be folded inside. Okay? That's another bugbear with these, that was not good quality control. So Mr. Gear has designed and developed from the ground up an easy open with the locked stacked logo on. So this logo will potentially move to the top of the box. He only did the first run like this just to make sure that it wasn't too thickly embossed. I mean, if that's a very thick embossing, then you're going to have the pop do this. And it's actually a perfectly thin enough embossment to have on the top of the lid, which again is cool because you'll know where you got it from, but when you close it all up on your shelf, you'll never see it in the way. Now, one particular difference I've noticed between the two, you can compare pop protectors all you like, they do the same job. But the biggest difference for me is look at the glue. See if I can get it closer. Look how much fatter the glue splodge is here. Let me just flip this one compared to the ones that you can currently buy in SA. I'm sorry, but I know where I'm putting my money. It's on these. And this is not a paid promotion, folks. He doesn't pay me to do this. He gave me the sample to show you guys what it looks like. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a protector like all others, but it is properly designed. So when you get home and you go click, you're not going to worry about things breaking off the bottom. Pop your flippin' Funko in there like so. I've also noticed it's quite a nice snug fit. Alright, sorry, what I normally do, I don't tell people, and that's what I like as well. It's nice and snug so you don't have a pop rattling. When you get a new protector, just bend the tabs in and then out. I like a nice neat fold. I don't like a bubbly top. Okay, pop the protector in, it goes, close it up, detap in, and Bob's your uncle. As solid as it's very opaque because I haven't taken the plastic off, so that's all good. But a proper, no nonsense, quality, solid protector. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, what's the deal? You currently, I think the cheapest option you have locally is you can buy packs of 10 for 200 bucks before they're even shipped to you. 200 Rand for 10 pops. It's not bad, it's a decent price. It's 20 Rand and your pop is protected. However, Mr. Gear and Pop Stacked will have these available from the mid to end of February. No, talking crap. Yes, mid to end Feb. There'll be over 1,000 of them available. So that's already after pre-orders exist at 175 bucks for 10. So there's 25 Rand cheaper than you'll get them anywhere else. That 25 bucks allows you to go get yourself a nice little McDonald's cheeseburger, whatever the case is. But yes, they're not cheaper by a margin, like a massive mile, because that would mean they'd have to be cheaper Funko protectors. They'd have to be cheap crap plastic. These are not. They're very solid. They're nice and snug. Funko doesn't rattle inside. So you guys will be very impressed and very happy when these do arrive. And then also, one thing I did notice, there's a massive hole in the market. A lot of you guys who've invested in these comic edition Funkos, there's no current protector available. So Chris has also kindly asked these guys overseas, and these are hand cut. So these now get manufactured by hand, and they're thick. These are 0.5. They're not shitty little plastic crappy things. So for all of you guys who've noticed, especially with these, a lot of these boxes start lifting and the sides start warping. You can get yours straight into one of these protectors, nice and snug. It's made to fit. This is a custom fit. There's no guesswork here. It goes straight in and you have yourself an epic protector. Yes, again, it's all very ghosted, and that's the beauty with these. They'll all come shipped with the plastic wrapping on. So you just peel off the wrapping and you'll see how beautifully glossy it all is. See there, so you won't have any scratches on your protectors. So he asked me nicely if I wouldn't mind doing the reveal for you guys, so thanks for giving me the opportunity, Chris, to do that. So as you guys know, there are a crap load of hard stacks coming. So mid to end of February there's a massive shipment of things landing, and that'll be 4-inch 0.5mm protectors, your comic edition protectors. There'll be more than likely, I don't want to say without guaranteeing it, but more than likely 2-pack, 3-pack protectors, all of those types of things coming in the future as well, which is also pretty cool. So very good addition, first in SA, absolutely, that is a first in SA. No one's got the comic version protectors, so that'll be another South African first from Chris Gare. So well done, bud. Mike Liston, you need one for a 10-inch. 10 inches will be covered. 10 inches are coming as well. He has thought of those, and they will also be 0.5mm thick. There's not going to be this shitty little 0.2 and 0.3 more rubbish that do this when you put your pop. They will be nice and solid and very good quality. So that's it, folks. I just wanted to make a video. I don't have anything to show you what's arrived because I have been popping them up on WhatsApp. So nothing unique to show you guys. But again, thanks for your support and thanks for your love. I'll get a lacquer one when I've got some more stuff coming. We'll do a lacquer live stream then. We'll get some cool unboxings going again and possibly do some more reviews like this. So I hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a lacquer week. And we'll see you maybe Friday. Maybe not. Let's see what's coming this week and then we'll go from there. So you guys have a good one and take care, and I shall see you all sometime soon. Bye.